Hello, welcome everyone to the Vora's Pact Upstate show. I am your host and community manager here, Romanova, and I'm going to be joined here very, very soon with a little, wiggle on my nose, with Adonis and Nico here to assist me in the show. Welcome. What's up, guys?
Hello, hello. Another magical Wednesday in the realm.
Magical, you say? No,
Looks
no
like
hint
Adonis
at all.
Am I on screen? I can't see.
I'm
Welcome, the
I'm
Bear
so very
Master.
happy to see you.
Very happy.
People-
Yeah, it's been an exciting day. I'm looking forward to hunting orcs with Nico later on.
Yeah, I also told the furries to rise up for today. So they're probably trying to figure out why why you're in a bear suit. So
Well,
I think
we'll figure it out.
it looks very good.
we'll have to, very good. All right. So everyone, as you know, we just revealed Vora, but before we get into any of that, we are going to start with the first part of every update show, the hunt. And we have been having a very busy QA team while still working at home here. These are only a few of the bug fixes right now, and you will end up seeing once the update notes show live here in a short amount of time, all the bug fixes that we have. There are tons for the champions, and the last one that we're going to mention in this quick segment is probably one of the most important ones I've seen you complaining about online. So let's get rolling right through it. So for Dredge, we have fixed an issue where Harpoon's fire rate with the hurl talent equipped will increasingly it was increasingly slower with more percentage cooldown reduction. So good fix for him. I know there's a lot of Dredge players that were actually, oh my gosh, can't speak today. Need to cast a spell to do that. Probably whip up some coffee here. Maldamba is our next one. We have him here. Fix an issue where the VFX for the volume of Dread Serpent disappeared prematurely, causing players to get feared by it when the VFX was no longer visible. That's a good one for all of y'all. And I believe works for every level of graphics as well. So that should help. I know a lot of players play in a little bit of a lower resolution, so we'll be good there. We got Ruckus. We fixed an issue where the wing VFX from Furia's Inflame displayed on the front of Ruckus's model instead of the back. So no more incorrect displays.
Issue. We should have left it.
There's some that people ask sometimes about us leaving, like that Terminus floating in the Yeti skin
I don't know
bug.
what you're talking about.
We should have kept. Make note of it, please. We also have here Strix. We have a fix for Strix. Fixed an issue where the Overburn card did not function. So I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate that as well. Torvald got a bug fix. Fixed an issue where Nullify dealt a maximum of 640 damage over the course of its duration instead of 800. So also a good fix. And the one that is the most important here, folks, fixed an issue where players could not equip mastery emotes in the champion menu or the match lobby. There you have it.
Hooray!
So
Very exciting.
yeah, absolutely. And so we're gonna kind of transition over here. The patch notes should be up any second, folks. We publish them. It just takes a minute for the cache to clear. So we'll also be having the lower thirds show with that as well coming up soon. But as you know, bugs are always still under investigation. We also have a bunch that were fixed. Make sure that, whether it's PTS, live, that you use the Discord that we have, discord.gg/Paladins game. And we also have a bug report form that is paladins.com/bugs. So they're your friends. Let's go into balance with, Adonis, the bear balance master, and Nico. I don't know what I should call it. Just an elf king?
The Orc Slayer. Yeah, I'll take the elf.
Orc Slayer?
Orc Slayer,
Okay.
Nico. That's
Okay.
the best.
I like that shot. All right, so we're going to start here in balance. I'm going to go into just a couple quality of lives before kind of going into the champion ones that we're going to go over here, folks. And I'll be passing it to the designers here so they can elaborate a little bit more on some of these. Yeah, go ahead.
The first thing we have is some Gamepad scoreboard improvements, mostly for console. Shoutouts to the AOC. Last year, they were pushing for this. Didn't really fit in our schedule, but we did get it in for this patch specifically. Gamepad players will now be able to enable something called the Advanced Scoreboard in their gameplay settings. That once done, it changes your scoreboard from a hold down select to open to a press to select to open, which means it'll stay on screen. And then from there, players on Gamepad will actually be able to select an individual player, drill in, and actually view their talents and cards. So a much long requested feature for Gamepad players. Really excited to get that one in. We also have an item store undo button. There are some caveats to it, but now players, if you misbuy a card or change your mind, once you're in a match, there will be a button in the lower right-hand screen that you'll be able to select, and it will undo all the purchases you made in that instant. So if you end up closing the scoreboard, you will not be able to undo your purchase, So you have to make that decision while still in the item store, We also have a bunch of UI updates coming into this patch across multiple screens. We're trying to improve highlight states and visibility, readability, basically making it easier to navigate your menus. This is going to be a huge improvement, I think, for Gamepad more so, making it more obvious what you're actually highlighted on in the menus. And then we also, along with that, have updates to our quest pane. So it's now a crystal instead of just kind of the paper parchment that it was before. And then we've also done some really massive improvements to commendations, add some animation. So the call out there when you're in post-match lobby and you want to commend your team will be much more obvious. Kevin, did you want to go over the last two?
Sure, yeah. So next one, so while we don't have lower thirds, I'll try to be more explicit with the descriptions here. So something that I was interested in having done but we didn't quite get it on release, definitely something people have been asking for Corvus. You now will have an UI indicator when you have Corvus's mark. That makes it a little bit more clear why you're getting healed, why, what's going on. So while you are marked by Corvus, there will be, I believe it's in the lower left, the Corvus UI indicator. And then another one, Bomb King has had his ultimate animation slightly reworked, just a little bit cleaner, especially when he uses it after launching himself into the air. It'll be, rather than him looking like he's standing on the ground while he's flying through the air, the animation will just be a little bit cleaner all around.
All right.
And I
Excellent.
believe that is the extent of the UI,
Quality
general quality of life changes.
Mm-hmm. And we will go into character balance. So thank you, folks, for already sticking in. We know there's some hiccups. Some of you were saying that the link isn't working. It'll be up very shortly. There's just some issue with the cache in the back of the website. So stick tight for those, but we'll keep going through these, and you'll be able to see not only what we go through, but everything else too that we didn't include in the show, just because we have a deadline, and we want to make sure we have enough time for Vora. So let's go into Imani. So Imani got the first on our list here. So looks like there's some abilities here. Her Frostbolt. AOC looked like they had some in this. I'll kind of let you take it away here, Adonis or Nico.
Sure, yeah, I can handle this one. So again, because of the lower thirds, I will go ahead and be explicit. I'll go ahead and read these changes out very briefly, but they will be on the patch notes, obviously, as well. So first off, for Imani, the Frostbolt, we have reduced the time between Frostbolt attacks from 0.8 seconds to 0.5 seconds. We have reduced the damage per Frostbolt from 650 to 410. I'm just going to go through all of them real quick, and then I'll go back and talk over each change. Elemental Shift, which is her stance swap. We have reduced the time to swap between stances from 1 second to 0.25 seconds. That's a significant change. And then we have some changes for talents as well. Pyromania, kind of a small change for this, or rather fairly significant, I suppose. Pyromania now causes all of your pyroballs to deal damage in an area. So this is no longer a cadence, like every third hit thing. And then to accompany that, we reduced the damage from 1,000 per fireball to 800 per fireball, and reduced the area of effect from 30 units to 20 units. So that is the extent of the Amani changes so far. I can talk a little bit about why we've done, especially the Pyromania and Frostbolt changes. I do want to start with the Elemental Shift. You'll notice this change is fairly large, actually, for Amani. It'll allow you to feel much more smooth about transitioning between states, especially using abilities more swiftly and feeling like you're not losing precious time in the middle of that animation when you could be otherwise firing your Fireball or Frostbolt. The Frostbolt change itself, with the Pyromania change, we wanted to distinguish Frostbolt a little bit more as a playstyle. You'll be slinging out these Frostbolts much more often. You'll see some synergy with splitting ice as well. So it's a fairly significant attack speed increase with that, and subsequently we reduce the damage per Frostbolt to accompany that. The Pyromania change, ultimately, I think we wanted Pyromania to be in a spot where it felt, well, obviously it felt effective, but it felt able to be used in a variety of situations, specifically being able to know how you're going to use it. So rather than a cadence, now it's every fireball explodes, but with reduced damage and reduced AoE from the original Pyromania. So I am very much looking forward to the feedback we get for the Amani changes. We can actually, if we want, head straight into the next champion as well, I think, Romanova, which is Lex, right?
Oh, yeah.
So for my Lex mains, hopefully you guys will enjoy this. I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, no, keep going.
I'll go through all the abilities to start off. Yeah. High energy. We've got orcs to kill. We've got Vora to reveal. I'm so excited. All right, so for you Lex mains out there, another AOC recommended change. This one I'm glad that we got in. You are now able to combat slide in the air. So you're no longer limited to combat sliding on the ground. If you are lifted by Genos and not crippled, you will be able to combat slide out of that. We had some sound and VFX updates to go with that as well. So very, very cool. I'm very happy with how it turned out. And Lex is just slightly more utile in that sense. Retribution. So when Retribution is used, this ability is no longer a random, just anyone in the match thing. This ability will now prioritize the player with the highest kill streak within 150 units of Lex. If there are no enemies within 150 units of Lex, Retribution will then prioritize the player with the highest kill streak outside of 150 units. So essentially there are two distance bands within 150 units and everything else. In addition to this change, Retribution can no longer target the same target twice in a row. So you can't reroll the same target. Unless they are probably literally the only available target on the entire map. So these changes were meant to provide just a little bit more agency to the player, knowing that if there is an enemy within a certain distance, that they are going to be the one picked. If there are multiple enemies within a certain distance, then a soft priority is assigned to them based on kill streak, and that you're not going to be frustrated by, I don't want this target, I'm going to reroll, and you get the exact same target. So those two changes to Lex, we hope put him in a much higher kind of quality of life position.
Also, shout outs to Ethan. I believe he had some hand in the design of the Retribution rework. So always nice to have our team involved and invested in making some exciting gameplay changes. I think Lex mains are gonna have a lot of fun with them.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see how the Lex is doing combat slide in the air. So I hope there's videos of people just doing that in like the shooting range or something, like practicing it. I don't know. That's just me. But let's go into Victor. Looks like we got some balance changes here for Victor. So his talents, burst mode. You guys reduced the damage per shot. Do you want to? I guess it's pretty straightforward, but it looks like you also reduced the max fall off as well. What kind of went into why this decision was made? I know a lot of people, I think, complain about these kind of characters because we're also going to get into Vivian next on console especially, right?
Yeah, let me just explicitly, sorry, I have to pull the hood up. There was a request from the one and only G Martini in chat, so I had to do it for him. Hope you're doing well, if that's you, or just a massive fanboy. So I guess at a high level, we're making some changes. We don't have time to go through all of the balance changes on the patch notes, Andrew's also getting some fall off adjustments, but what we're mostly looking to do is kind of shift the meta away from hit scan. We still want these characters to be good, but right now it's really not leaving a lot of room for the more projectile champions or characters like Drogos that like to hang in the air. And we don't really want to buff Drogos to like just continue a power creep. We'd rather take a look at the high end of hit scan champions and bring them down. So Victor's getting a couple changes here. One, burst mode damage per shot is going from 220 to 200 damage. His max damage fall off, which means, okay, if someone's really far away, it's doing this percentage of damage of the 200, is going from 59% to 65%. So at max range, you are still doing 130 damage per shot. So this is mostly going to affect flankers who are able to get to the backline and fight Victor. They're going to be taking less damage. But when Victor's engaging people from far away, he's still doing the same amount. And then the max damage threshold, before he was falling off to that 59% at 200 units, that's now going to be 175 units. So he's now capping off his damage fall off a little bit sooner. And then we have Vivian changes as well. Vivian's getting the nerf bat here pretty hard. I know she has been complained about for a long time. We've done a multitude of changes, mostly focusing on her defensibility rather than her damage like we've done with Victor. So this was, a couple of these were AOC driven. You'll be able to see which ones specifically on the patch notes. Deflector shield, we have reduced the health from 1400 to 1200. Sentinels are getting a damage reduction per shot. Since they were adding 200 DPS, we've reduced the damage from 200 to 150, so they're adding 150 DPS. And then some card changes, Contingency. This is the card that increases the shield health. The scaling is going down from 170 per level to 125 per level. One Step Ahead, which was the movement card, is getting a reduction from 6% per level to 4% per level. And then the Scapegoat card, which was the damage interception, 50% of your damage received by Vivian went to her shield instead. That scaling is going down from 10% to 8%. So we think with this change specifically, we'll be able to see flanks in particular have a better time at engaging Vivian once they're actually able to dive her in the back line.
Wow. I, am a little, sad. I like playing Vivian, but I also think I like playing Vivian because she's a little bit of a easier champ for somebody who doesn't have a high skill level like myself. So, not saying that it doesn't take skill on a high level to play her, because I do know some really good Vivians.
The Vivian man.
Shots fired. Pew, pew, pew. But that's going to be it here just for the balance, because we do have to keep rolling, folks. We have a lot of stuff to get through. Not just the Battle Pass, not just the new champion, but we also, right now, coming up, have the first ever video look at the Frozen Guard visual update. The environment team has worked so hard on this, so we are going to go into it now. Enjoy.
It's pretty cool.
Wow. So
oh yeah,
that's probably one of my favorite reveal videos for updates we've done so far. Shout outs to the video team killing it on that. Real quick before we go into our next segment, it's going to be the Battle Pass, so that's exciting. But real quick, the environment artist on this was Rick R. So I just want to give some shout outs to some of the people who worked on this. Specifically, we had Alex D doing the level design on that. and lighting was Sydney A, and VFX is Rollin. You all probably have heard Rollin's name a bunch when it comes to VFX here at Evil Mojo. So, you know, give it a round of applause for them, and that'll be available this coming update, and it looks crispy clean. I love it. It's chilling my heart, you know, to say the least. So
it's a very cool aesthetic. I need some more puns. Kevin, help me out here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with that bad pun, let's transition into something way hotter, and that's gonna be our battle pass. If you folks haven't realized it, it is kind of like a Witches and Wizards, but like with a like a D&D twist, I guess, or I guess not even D&D, but RPG kind of twist. It is called the Arcane Pact's Battle Pass. And for this, many of you guessed from our clues that we sent out to our international influencers to post on social that the first, she's our first unlock. It's going to be the instant unlock, is Firebrand Tyra. So there's her splash, and I love it. They really went all out too. The concept was done by Jeff B. And in the initial concept, they made her like super muscular too. So like they really like kind of pushed that on Tyra, since she already kind of looks like a bruiser. So Tyra is going to obviously be our instant unlock, along with your loading frame that you probably saw us post on social this morning. We had the character artist for this was Zach M. And weapon, Adam M. Rigging was Jisoo. Tech art, Kyle H. Animation and secondary was Brett. VFX, Roland H. Audio, Thomas K. Many of you know him as Waddles. And the splash was done by Yutafong. So we are probably going to be loading in here shortly into the game. And there it is. Look at her. That girl is on fire.
This skin, as they say, is pretty lit.
Wow. All right. We're really on this one. Thunderbrush is going to make sure we all get raises just for our puns. I can't confirm that.
Wait, you guys are getting
though.
Raises?
No, I can't confirm that. I was
paid?
just What? Nani?
No, this is a really exciting skin. I love the details on the cape specifically. And the hair piece that you actually saw at the beginning with the fire actually coming off. And I also really enjoy the weapon, the kind of lava-esque VFX that's like pulsing throughout the gun.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite things in this is that they went the route of her as a fire witch, which is a little bit, different. But the detail, we were just looking at the gun there, just seeing the fire burn. The flames, the way that they like kind of like fly up in the air, they kind of look like bats almost too. And that would be like Rollin's VFX work, right? So
yeah,
amazing job as per usual, Rollin. So cool. And I love that we're doing something like this, because I know it was such a big request last year from people that we wanted some spoopy content for Halloween, and we didn't really get it last year, but even though it's not super on the spoopy side, we got some, definitely some festive Halloween themed stuff going on. And then next here, we're going to get into the level 10 unlock. Oh, wait, looks like we're still in game here. Oh, we're going to actually show you some voice lines. We almost forgot, folks. Don't worry. They're making sure we didn't forget to give you the voice lines. So go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Bright as the sun, baby! Bright as the sun, baby! Avert your gaze. I'm as bright as the sun, baby! I'm on it.
Very tough. I like it. She sounds like you don't want to mess with her, especially with all like how muscular she is as well. Definitely a fire witch who you don't want to get caught in that path of flames. Right.
Shoutouts to Alex, who I think did a fantastic job with this, writing this voice pack. Aptly named, I suppose. The skin is the Firebrand Tyra. I think that's reflected well in her personality. So I'm very excited, not only for this skin, but for all the voice packs in this battle pass. I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna go now into our level 10 unlock, folks, which is the Student of Magic, Vivian. So that is obviously what I was trying to mimic here. But we're gonna say that the concept here, do some art shout outs. Concept was done by Jasmine. Character, Matt G. Weapon, Adam M. Rigging, Jisoo. Tech art, Kyle H. Animation, Caitlin N. VFX, Rollin. Audio, Thomas K. aka Waddles. And the splash was again done by Udafon. So we'll be getting in here in game in just a second to her. But you know, even though she's gonna take a couple of nerfs here, folks, we gotta still give her some love in some way.
I don't ever hear you guys complaining that we make balance changes based off skins again. We have a history of actually nerfing champions when we release skins for them.
I love the hat.
Big fan.
We're going to go ahead and go over, I think, some of the visuals, the weapons, some abilities, and then we'll make sure to get those voice lines as well.
I love the effects on there. It's like, it's cool because you'd be like, why would a witch have a gun? But it works for her, you know? Oh, that effect.
I think
so
my new
cool.
favorite part to this is the fact that that crystal will rotate while you're firing. Which I just think is the coolest thing.
I haven't seen that part of the effects yet, so this is like a new surprise to me, so I am loving every minute of it.
This is definitely my favorite Vivian weapon. I like it because it's what you would imagine if, you know, there was modern witches, and obviously guns are still the superior weapon over staffs, but you're still taking that magic staff and converting it into a gun.
Oh yeah, and then for those of you who didn't realize, she was the one that some of you didn't get. The hints were mainly, see, there's the books, right there. Those are her friends. When you're a student of magic, your best friends are your books. You need to study. You know, contrary to popular belief, you need to study. And a lot of you had some really good guesses with the pyre symbols, thinking it was Furia. But now it is, this is Vivian. She's studying her magic via the pyre, you know, I guess. That was the goal here. And I think it works so well. Just the colors for this in general are just great, so.
Yeah, let's listen to some voice lines too.
My best friends are books.
Let's listen to some voice lines too. We have 2 more skins to get through. And we do have to show off a deadly lady at the end.
Yeah,
yes.
So we can hear some voice. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be quiet.
I guess I am pretty cool, huh? I'll let you see my library if you want. I should write this one down. Oh, hi. I knew you would ask me to do that.
All right, special request. Can we hear one of the jokes?
Let's see. Let's see if our person monitoring
It's
can.
not about the friends we've made along the way. It's about the knowledge. Knowledge, as you know, is power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. There you have it, folks. Knowledge is power, and Vivian's still trying to hang in there, even with, you know, these nerfs coming. But the next one, this is the one none of you probably understood in the clues completely. I think you got the character. Oh, my hat is falling off. But we have, as your level 30 unlock, Honey King, Bomb King. So,
the man, the myth, the bomb himself.
The legend.
I've been waiting so much for us to post this. I wanted to drop, so we tried to make so many puns and jokes.
Look at those
this
bombs.
This is why I said tune in furries. Bomb King is a bear. So, I'm trying to contain my laughter, but this is the best skin. We just, and it works so well. He's a bear wizard. I'm
my
in love.
spirit
And you'll
animal.
love him even more once you see not only his abilities, but I think his voice lines are my favorite out of all the ones that the designers and audio wrote for this patch. So we're gonna go into game, folks. Let's see our Honey King in action.
He just has so much personality with his skin. It's absolutely fantastic.
Let's just listen to some voice lines straight off.
You're all a bunch of wannabes. You are just magically sweet. I am the very magical Honey King. Honey King-Os are an explosive way to start your Saturday. Honey King is not responsible for any serious injury or death.
I see chat saying the bombs are
showman.
yours. the bombs are the way the faces on those bombs is a representation of how 2020 is going for us so far. For
We're
everyone
here.
in the world. We're here.
These are some of my favorite
Everything's
bombs.
fine.
Oh, and they have the little like magic around them. Oh my gosh. The Grumpy.
He's not having any of it.
Yeah, he's also showing 2020 for us here. Oh my goodness. And shout out to the VFX. I don't think I got to do the callouts yet, so before we do some more voice lines, I'll say some of them. Jeff B was the concept artist on this. Character was done by Scott K. Weapon by Ryan T. Rigging, the legendary Jisoo. Tech art, we had Kyle H. For animation and secondary, we had Jim, Claire, Caitlin, and Brett. So he's obviously got a lot of people that have to work on him for doing these animations. And he is looking great. I love that one. We have also for VFX, obviously, Rollin, audio Thomas, and the splash art for him was done by Volmy Games. So
We should be able to not only show off the new Ultimate line, but also the new Ultimate animation with this.
oh, the music's great too.
Powerful magic. Give your king a bear hug.
All right, I don't need Love Machine Bomb King anymore. This is my go-to with Bomb King now.
Give your king a bear hug.
I
Yeah,
believe
bear
it was
hug.
Brett who worked on that new animation. We're all big fans of the rework. Not so much of Brett, but you know, the animation was great.
Wow. Okay. You know what, Brett? You
Yeah.
did a
I had to
fantastic
do.
job.
I had just a little.
Yeah,
little
okay,
poke towards
whatever.
Brett, of course. He knows it's all in good fun, as he kills me in
Alright.
playtests in our Vora 1v1s.
Dang, sounds like there's some salt there. But
No,
we have
never.
to keep moving. We are almost through our skins here, and we have some special other ones for you before getting into Vora as well. So let's roll through it. I know people want to get to Vora, but we also have our level 50 unlock to go to here, which is Underkeeper Zin. So for those who were guessing, you all had really good guesses. Tiberius was a really good guess because of the sword, but Zin is finally he hasn't gotten a skin in a very long time. So this is actually great that Zin is getting a skin. And, you know, this is the year of turning our characters into silver-haired, you know, kings, I guess. I don't know. I would assume he might be a king because of that crown. Like, he would be the king of the elves. But we'll see. We'll see here. I'll let you maybe go into a lot of what inspired some of this for you with the design, because you all work on these as well with the art team, right? With like deciding if the animations are cool. I just wanted to kind of ask you guys as designers how you get involved with the team when these skins are being made and everything, and the decisions being made.
Yeah. So art normally takes point. We'll talk about generally themes and ideas that we have, and then art, because our team's just amazing. Kind of runs with it after initial concepting, and then design team's there just to provide feedback. But generally, it's never this is like the wrong direction. We're almost 99 times out of 100 really excited with the art team and what they cook up, and then we'll kind of take the character into a direction with their voice lines from there.
I'll absolutely second that. I think I'm yeah, like Kevin said, almost always extremely happy and very excited for what our team comes up with. I think the biggest input, or one of the biggest inputs that I or design team had this patch was, for example, raising the iron sights on Vivian's LMG just a little bit because it was blocking just a little bit too much vision, and that's the closest thing we have to a gameplay kind of concern, at least from my end. Otherwise, I'm always super happy with the visuals.
See that little newt in a boot?
Are we spoiling the newt?
It was already shown.
Might be my
You missed
favorite
it while
piece
you
of
were
content.
talking. Yeah, this skin's really cool though. For all you inner edgelords and Androxus mains, this is my favorite Zen weapon actually that we've come out with. I'm a big fan of the color purple and aesthetically, especially when combined with black or charcoal. So this skin's right up my inner edgelord alley.
Oh yeah,
It's a boot
and on
newt.
top of that, we can probably recruit some. We can probably recruit some of the Smite people that came to play Tsukuyomi. When they were announcing that he was coming to Smite, I told our coworkers over at the Titan Forge games, I was like, "Yeah, well, we'll match your Tsukuyomi with silver hair with our Zen with silver hair. Get wrecked." Ooh.
Now this skin has kind of an interesting.
Wait, I think
interesting,
we're gonna listen to some voice lines real quick before.
Yeah, this skin is an interesting personality, something that we trying something a little bit new. So yeah, let's go ahead and hear some voice lines real quick.
I can't wait to show you all my favorite toys! What is that damned light in the ceiling? Oh, somebody kill it! Quickly! There is no one quite as sharp as I! You can be my pet. What part do you want to lose as penance?
I like that he got an attitude. Like, he definitely sounds like he's of some sort of royalty, even if he's not meant to be. So, I like that a lot. But with that said, we will go through our, before we go into the next section, because we still got a little bit of ways to go, we are going to go through our recolors really fast. You know, these are
Let's
great.
do it.
And these are your level 70, 90, 110, and 120 unlocks for those who buy the Battle Pass, and are going to be featured with Frostbrand Tyra as our first here. I like it even more than the first one because of the blue flames. And technically, the blue in a flame is the hottest, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, she's hot, hot, hot.
This might be one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it was hard to like resist not doing this one, but it was already hard enough. Like, I couldn't find a white wizard hat like hers, so I had to like make one out of foam. And I was like, I know I'm not finding a turquoise one. I was like, they literally only sell like black witch hats or like the ones like Adonis is wearing for the Bomb King. So, but she looks great.
This is novice Vivian, right?
Novice, yes, novice Vivian. But you know, she doesn't really look like a novice, but you know, don't judge a book by its cover. So next
nice.
We're going to Polar Bear.
But really, come on now, look at this thing.
Polar Bear Bomb King.
This is the best skin in the Battle Pass. This is not even a contest.
This is definitely.
Kevin's not biased.
I'm not biased at all. Look at those bombs. Look at the one in the lower left. Oh, he's so cute with his big eyes.
They're gonna give people nightmares, but I love it. We're here for it.
Explode for me.
Explodes. And then, last but not least, we have Forest Stalker Zin, which is what
Oh, look, it's me.
Nico is supposed to be looking like today with us, folks.
This is what Kevin sees in the mirror every day.
I wake up, I reaffirm my elf status, and then I go out and get things done.
Okay, and
That's me.
1-to-1.
I even have the ears.
Gorgeous hair, by the way.
Thank you. I realized this morning that I misplaced my hairbrush, and I didn't realize how important it would be. So now I'm all frizzy.
Well, with that, we're going to move on to our next skin that will be coming in this patch as well. We have a special Christmas skin for all of y'all, but it's not so holly jolly as it is very scary. We have Krampus. Literally, Krampus.
You, Krampus.
Krampus.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better watch out. You better watch out.
Oh, I'm crying.
You know what I mean?
If that thing's chasing me, I'm crying.
I'm scared.
I'm going full fetal position. Like, you can have me.
And
There's
with
no getting away from
the
him.
skin, there's going to be a rework to the festive chest, similar to how the worldwide was, so that it's not going to be little items, I think, like weapons and everything. It'll be purely skins and different ones, but also this is where you'll get that, and that will be November 25th. So look out for the Krampus. I wouldn't get in his way. He might knock you over. Other than that, I'm just going to say here, real quick, we're just going to have 2 chests coming out. There's one on November 4th coming, called the Dangerous Heroines chest. The contents in that are strictly Street Style Maeve, Daywalker Vivian, Shore Patrol Leon, Street Forged Imani, Gunslinger Tyra, Battlesuit Angel Furia, Iron Madam Ainara, Divine Ceres. So that one, it's like some of the skins, you might have seen some of them in a thing before, in a chest before, but like Gunslinger Tyra, for instance, hasn't been in one yet. And I'm trying to remember, I don't know, I think we've had Street Style Maeve in one, but I know a lot of people still really want to get Street Style Maeve still. So awesome, love when they do these. And then our last one here is the Beyond Science and Fiction, available November 25th, will be 400 crystals. And in that, it's going to be Stellar Protector Vora, which you will see when we get into Vora, so get hype, as well as Battlesuit Godslayer Androxus, Steel Forged Barrack, Omega Dredge, Crime Fighter Shaolin, and the Obsidian Warhorse. So you'll definitely want to pay attention to that. And yeah, that's it for chests. Only 2 coming in this update, but very exciting ones, I think. Like, there's some content that you couldn't get in either of them before, other than in a battle pass. So now, before we get into Vora, we have a very special treat for y'all. The first ever look of the finalized map of the realm. Now, many of you know that we have gone through and sent out pieces of the map, well, Atlas did, to 4 of our influencers that you probably saw on Twitter that we retweeted, with videos, getting packages, and there was like a parchment version of the map. It had less detail because it was Atlas, right? But here it is. Now, Alex M was who did all of the artwork for this, but it's the lore team who also worked with Alex to pinpoint and make sure we know exactly where everything is meant to be placed if we didn't already have that solidified. We wanted to do this for the fans because we know that we, in the past, have not had every bit of information there that we could have had for you, and this is a start in the right direction, I feel, if we already haven't been going that way for you. So this will be available too on social media very shortly if it already isn't, for you to look at yourself and have saved to your own computer, maybe even make your background on your computer of if you're really into that. So I hope you all are really enjoying that. I know Nico pretty much leads our meetings if we're in there for the lore team, so I know he's probably super excited about us finally showing that as well.
Yes, I'm super hyped when people get excited about the lore. I know a lot of people would love to have even more stuff, but yeah, but we're still, we're doing our best on that front.
Yeah, and I just heard from a little birdie in my ear that we are going into Vora. Now, if you haven't seen it, folks, you'll see it here. We're going to replay the debut trailer for her before we go into her and her lore. So let's get to it.
We trusted you with our lives, Goddess. You told us the seal held evil at bay. But we fell prey to a different kind of evil. And so, I choose a stronger path. I choose the power to protect myself! I am coming for you, Goddess. You and your realm's peace. matter what game you play. I will sweep the board of your pawns. Go ahead. Warn them. I will not be stopped. Darkness will engulf this world. And I will be its herald.
Wow.
Could we classify her as avoidable, or is that like a little too far?
She's gonna rip your head off, Kevin.
She's gonna
yeah, actually, that's fair. That's
devour
There's some
you.
red flags. If you're
Devora
interested.
you. She's gonna devour you. Anyways, so that was Vora. I know that we are trying to make sure we fit as much of her in-game play here as we can. So we're gonna transition over to that as soon as we can. I know we have our splash art as well here. There we go. And while that's up, would you mind giving us some lore here, Nico?
Yeah, I can go ahead and read you the lore blurb and just talk a little bit about that. So, her lore blurb: a life once devoted to Io, the moon goddess. Her sacred martial order was one tasked with protecting the ancient seals, but even they did not know the extent of the chaos beneath. Feeling forsaken by her goddess, surrounded by unanswered prayers and broken bodies, she has chosen to embrace that chaos. The realm is on the path to self-destruction, but she will deliver it from that fate. She brings the end of these wars, of that suffering, an end to everything. Those who know of her dread her coming, for she is Vora, harbinger of the end of the realm, and they are not prepared. So she just, I could talk for many minutes about this, but the TLDR, the gist of it is she is one of a sacred martial order who worshipped Io and kept these seals protected. Io, unfortunately, was not present during the conflict that was brought to the Shattered Desert and subsequently to her village. Most of her friends, family, and order were killed, and she essentially is left mostly alone in the world. She's chosen to actively embrace what was once forsaken, or once, that chaos that was supposed to be guarded against, and is now probably, quite possibly, the greatest threat to the realm that the realm has ever seen. So, big scary.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen from just the teaser campaigns, she's not to be reckoned with. And there she is!
She's
such an evil lady. Now, one vibe I always got, and we'll see it here when we show off her moves, is it made me think of almost like ballerinas, like her animations and stuff, like very graceful, but deadly, right? Like,
yeah, I know the animation team used a lot of dancing and ballerina as inspiration for how she moves around and uses her Siphon, other abilities. So it's a very fluid combat style, both gameplay wise and visually, and she's so much fun to play. Kevin, if you want to,
I can just start, rolling through some of the
abilities. It's all you.
Let's do it. So, if you've not heard, she is a flank champion, base health 2,000, and she has a passive. So you see the UI elements there under her reticle. Her passive is darkness. So hits against an enemy with your scythe provide a stack of darkness to you. Using Dark Siphon or Obliteration, which are two of her other abilities, will consume all stacks, regardless of the number of stacks you have, healing you for 100 over 1 second per stack. And if you have maximum stacks, you actually augment those other abilities as well. You can have a maximum of 5 stacks, as you can see with the pips there. So with the weapon that you see our cameraman showing off right now, Deadly Scythe, the Vora sends out projectiles that deal damage over a short duration in addition to initial damage, with a unique attack chain that we can show off here with a medium, light, heavy.
If we just want to run through
light
the
attack
attack
does
chain.
300. Say again?
Oh, let's just run through the attack chain.
Yeah, we can just run through the attack chain. 470 damage every 1 second on the medium hit. The light hits 300 damage every 0.35 seconds. And then heavy 680 every 1.2 seconds. The attack chain is not interrupted by other abilities, so you can chain through kind of your own way of playing. It makes for some very fluid gameplay. We can show off the first ability, which is the alt fire, Obliteration. So essentially, you jump up and slash down around you, dealing 500 damage and applying a small knockback to enemies hit. While using this ability, this is the real kicker, while using this ability, you are immune to damage and crowd control. So for all intents and purposes, this provides you iframes during the ability. Using Obliteration with 5 stacks of your passive, Darkness, will deal an additional 300 damage and will slow enemies hit by 30% for 2 seconds. There you can see the slow effects on poor Fernando, the punching bag. Moving on, we can launch directly into the ability 1, Dark Siphon. Dark Siphon launches a vicious projectile from your scythe, which deals 200 damage on hit and an additional 400 damage over 1.5 seconds. Hitting an enemy also causes you to regenerate 300 health over 2 seconds, so almost effectively a health siphon. Using this ability with maximum darkness stacks will cripple the enemy hit for 1.5 seconds, preventing use of movement abilities. I can show that off real quick here too.
Her visuals ever since I started seeing everyone play her in the dev builds when she was getting developed. Although I absolutely hate playing against when I do the playtest with you guys. I hate when Waddles is playing her, and he's on the other team. It literally, I get dead because I'm like usually playing as like IO trying to support everyone.
Waddles and Brett have both taken a liking, I think, to Vora, which has been fantastic to see in the playtests, except when they kill me, in which case I'm sad. Moving on to the next ability, her movement ability, ability 2, is called Tendril. Manifest your will, propelling yourself forward towards where you're looking, towards your target with the tendril. You can hit players to pull you to them as well. This is her mobility, and opens up a lot of really cool possibilities, especially in combination with one of her talents.
Now that kind of reminds me a little bit of Grover there. Was that any inspiration for it?
It's
kind
definitely
of for
in the
how
same
like,
vein.
you wanted her to move?
Yeah, definitely in the same vein. We made some changes or upgrades to how this functions, a little bit of tech that helps with not getting stuck on the ground if you're going forward, a little bit of tech for how it affects your movement in air, a little bit more air control, which allows for a little bit of drifting. But definitely the same vein, yeah.
I like here, too. I just noticed we're on the Shattered Desert as well while we're in here. So.
Yeah, a little bit of lore there. This is indeed the area, and you could even say, if you wanted to, that this may be one of the seals that that the Sacred Martial Order was supposed to be guarding. A little bit of fun lore tidbit for you.
Well, I won't interrupt you anymore. That was a little detail I noticed and had to point out, especially for everyone watching.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of what makes it fun, right? Is that lore connection, or how things connect with the rest of the realm. Moving into her ultimate ability, Harbinger's Wrath. So this is one of my favorite abilities by far. Channel your wrath to hunt your enemies, which increases your movement speed significantly and decreases the damage you take, while pulling you back to kind of this really, really cool, we can go ahead and show off in game if we want, really, really cool camera. Selecting a target in range will hit them, applying a bunch of CC, essentially, stun, cripple, all that good stuff. Should be anti-heal as well, 100% anti-heal. If they are above the health threshold, they will take damage. If they are below the health threshold, which I believe is 66% right now, they will be executed and play a different animation. Very, very cinematic, very, very cool. You can even go ahead and punch Fernando a little bit, see if we can get him below that threshold. That hunter-killer vibe, I think, really, really plays well here.
That screeching noise when she goes up and kills them, I'm terrified.
This ability lasts for 5 seconds and can be refired to cancel. And that's the gist of her kit. we can very quickly, I can just talk about, I don't think we need to necessarily show off any of the talents, but I can talk about her talents. One of her talents provides an extra, I believe, 10% damage, 10% of maximum health damage to enemies hit by her Dark Siphon, which is her projectile. One of her talents, when you hit enemies with Obliteration, which is her alt fire, that jump up and slash down, will silence enemies hit by Obliteration for, I believe, 1.5 seconds. And then her third talent is essentially 2 charges of Tendril. So the ability to provide yourself a huge amount of mobility, be where you want to be on the battlefield, and use that in conjunction with some of her cards, which play into that ability.
Yeah. Let's go through some of her voice lines. I know we have only a little bit of time left, so we got to see the majority of what makes her her in here. But let's hear some of these voice lines. I love her voice actor or actress, by the way.
Dance with me, partner. I'll take your breath away.
Who is the voice actress, Nico? Do you know?
I suppose you're not useless. I am the realm's last breath. All good things to those who wait.
Yeah. Huge shout out to, I believe it's Stephanie
We
Panicello.
must capture the objective.
Okay. We'll have to,
I believe this is her first time doing work for Paladins, but she absolutely nailed Vora. She did a fantastic job as Vora, as the villainess. So huge shout outs to Stephanie.
All right. And we're gonna go through and show you some of the splash art for some of the skins that she's getting. And when I say she's getting some love, our newest champ here, look at her. She's getting some love.
So cool.
Her first skin we're gonna show you is her Steel Guardian skin. This is a limited skin. This is the season pass, or no, this is
Fancy.
Galactic Conqueror. I'm sorry, I skipped the one. You can put it back up there. Sorry.
The one.
Galactic Conqueror. Sorry. This is the one that you will be able to get in the Beyond Science and Fiction. You'll want this one, right? Especially if you had the Stellar sister skins. They need a villain. This is the villain. This is the antagonist, right? That is her. And the scythe, the scythe is one of my favorite things about that skin. It got the little bow on it too in the game at the bottom. It is amazing.
That stellar crystal is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now we're gonna go into Seal Guardian. My bad, folks. This is the limited one. This is going to be, as many of you saw the card art of the uncorrupt, darkness Vora. This is her when she was the Steel Guardian. This skin is limited and will only be obtained in the Season Pass 2019-2020. It will become unobtainable after the Season Pass 2019-2020 has finished. So if you really like this skin, you will want to get that. If you already have the Season Pass, then you're set. You get it in there. You'll also be getting Honor Guard, which this one is not limited, but it is a alternative version of the Seal Guardian. And this is also unlocked through the Season Pass as well. So you will not only be getting the first one, but also this if you have the Season Pass, which I think a great deal. Normally, I think we only do one Season Pass skin, so having the other variant is really nice, in my opinion. So we're going to go also into the alternative for her default, which is Herald Vora. And there she is. Kind of almost gives me like an abyssal vibe there with the purple. Love it. This one, though, is the one that you can unlock with 200 crystals or 60,000 gold. So many of you are always like, what can I do with all this gold? Well, there you go. This is why we still do the double gold weekends with the account XP, because there are some people that are newer to the game that don't have any, that when they get the gold and they get double gold, heck, you can buy, you know, an alternative skin for your, you know, character. And gold, speaking of gold,
speaking
of it, we are going into Golden Vora, and she looks fierce AF. This obviously, by reaching mastery level 50, is how you will get Golden Vora. So that is our conclusion of her. Designers, do you have any final words on Vora, I know many people are probably itching to get into the PTS when it's up. You know, hopefully within the next week. You know, we don't have a date that we announced yet, but you know, obviously we're working on our way to get it to you all. But yeah, Adonis, Nico, any words?
I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I think Vora has been one of the most fun champs to work on. Has, you know, so much iteration, so much fun, especially with the playtest with people, you know, people taking to her. So I'm really very excited for to get everyone's feedback on her and to get her into the realm, because I think you guys will really enjoy her.
Yeah, from a design standpoint for a flank, I'm really excited. Since she doesn't have the traditional defensive abilities that you see from a lot of our flank characters, she's more reliant on utilizing your built-in lifesteal on abilities and the darkness passive. So figuring out how and when to use abilities and in what situation I think will be important to actually play her well at a high level. And she has a lot of really cool combinations, especially with the ability to tendril into Obliteration down on top of someone and finish them off with your ultimate. So I'm excited for players to get their hands on it and see what people think.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been hands down my favorite teaser campaign that we've gotten to do, you know, like community, but I think it's because, like, I think personally one of the reasons why it turned out the best it's been for any of ours, just seeing the hype alone, is because of us working with the lore team. Like, you know, community, my end, we always have a role to do, and normally it's, you know, we try to get everyone involved, but like we really worked with, you know, Nico and the lore team a lot on this, and you know, I think we executed probably our best to date campaign with teasing Vora, getting the hype ready for her, and just seeing everyone's responses to everything has been so fun. We got our international people involved. I love it, and it just shows like what we truly love about this community when everyone comes together like that. So we appreciate you all, you know, buying into the hype too, because obviously Vora is worth all the hype. She is sick. But with that said, our conclusion of Vora, we have a couple things before ending the show. So thank you for sticking around. This is community content, so we will be doing a bunch of avatars again. I know some people are like, I wish I had more than this. Well, this is what we can do for now. We know 2020 has been hard for us. These 5 avatars here will all be available at different weekend bonus events that we have. So different XP, but you'll also be able to unlock these. Obviously, the first will be around Halloween, on Halloween, with the BV EV for Halloween. And then we have a Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Christmas Grover avatar. And Baby New... This is my favorite one, folks. I don't know about you, Nico, Adonis, but Baby Ruckus New Year. So move over, Baby Yoda, although I do love the Baby Yoda, the child. Baby Ruckus is so cute, the little thumb in the mouth. It's too cute. It's too cute. And these will be free. And then, as you've seen, our you know, friends over at Smite, in their recent update, announced that they are going to be, for October, celebrating LGBT History Month. And to commemorate that, we are adding a variety of flags as well, just like Smite did to our game. So you will be able to get the asexual pride, bisexual pride, lesbian pride, non-binary pride, pansexual pride, and transgender pride avatars in this update as well. They will all be available for 1 gold, and that's all you need to know for that. So other than this community content, we have just a final esport update. Many of you saw that High-Res Expo is not happening this year, but instead we are doing an online version. And with that, we are also going to be having the Paladins World Championships for esports December 3rd through the 6th. So just make sure to pay attention, follow Paladins Pro on Twitter for any updates around that. My hat started falling off. With that being said, though, this has been quite the magical update. Any final words, Nico, Adonis?
I hope you all are spellbound by what you're able to see with this update show. I'm very, very excited. Had a lot of fun working this update, and I can't wait for you guys to dive in.
30
Donna?
hilarious bear puns. What's a park ranger's favorite element? Barium. What did the bear say after
Wow.
looking at his GPS? Give me a second to get my bearings. No, thank you guys for joining us.
This is
on the
literally
Patch Notes
what I
show.
have
As
to listen
always,
to all day.
Come give your Bear King a hug.
I'm really excited for everyone to get their hands on the awesome content our entire team has put a lot of time, effort, and thought into. And to Vora, more specifically, I'm a designer, so I always love us trying new ways to approach a archetype of a champion. So I'm excited to see how as a flank this character plays out.
Yeah, and folks, make sure you keep following on social media, Paladins Game on Twitter. We'll keep posting more, and hopefully, we'll ride out the rest of this year. And make sure, if you want to look for what's coming early 2021, you check out that roadmap that we put up on paladins.com/news. That gives you a lot of info on what's to come. And there might be some stuff that we left out, so that we surprise you with that showcase that we do every year, the High Res Showcase. So you'll want to stick tight for that. We still have surprises on the way that we haven't told you about. So with that said, we're going to sign off. Thank you for joining us on this Vora's Pact, Arcane Pacts journey this time. So I don't have any real final words other than, which was which. No, I'm just kidding. For real,
And
though,
with that,
it's been
Cut her mic.
It's been a pleasure. Cut my mic. Thank you, folks.
Stay magical.
Dancing through the streets.